Now, let me show you how to use the third type of animation in this pack. This is the add-on animation templates. So we have two kinds of these. The first one are the facial expressions, and the other one is for backgrounds and effects. Basically, both of them have the same instructions, but we categorize them so that it's going to be easier for you to find which animation or which illustration you want to add to your artwork. Let's start with the face only. Here is one of the templates for the facial expression animation. So like the other templates, you have the cover telling you the name of this animation, a short description, an illustration, and some instructions. So let's zoom in on the instructions and read them together. Add your artwork into the artwork layer. Make sure to position it accordingly. Then duplicate your artwork layer into the rest of the slide groups above the duplicate here layers. Switch on animation assist, select ping pong, and press play. So that's the instruction for this specific template. So you also have slide layers like slide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what's different here is you don't have a separate artwork layer group. That's because we're not going to move our artwork anymore. We just have to paste it and apply it to all of the slides. If you turn on the first slide group, you'll see the sketch here and your artwork layer. So you are going to import your artwork into this position right here. So let's import our illustration. I've prepared this apple to use as an example. Let's go ahead and drag that in here like this. And we're going to resize it like this. Let's give this apple a silly looking face, just like that. So we're going to add it to this artwork group right here. Let's go ahead and delete that later on. So once you're done with that, let's turn on or let's open the rest of the slide layers. And then what we can do is we can duplicate this and move it up here where it says duplicate here, duplicate here, duplicate here, duplicate here, duplicate here. So that's what we can do. But let me show you an easier way if you don't want to duplicate everything. All you have to do is move this to the bottom layer outside the slide group. And then you can switch on animation assist. Select that layer and switch on background. And then make sure you open the slide layers, but hide the duplicate layer instructions so that there's not going to be like a text here. Like that. And then if you remember, the cover says to add a ping pong loop. So settings, then ping pong, and hit play. There you go. Easy as that. So if you want to add some personality easily to your illustration, like the simple apple, that's all you have to do. Just import it into the artwork layer earlier, and then duplicate it, one for each of these duplicate here slides, or you could just bring it down and switch on background. And there you have it, your animated illustration. Easy, right? Now let me show you the background and effects add-on animation. So this is quite similar to the facial expression one, wherein you have your cover and your slides and you don't have an artwork group anymore, unlike the full animation and the individual animations. So you have the cover again. It has all the instructions that you need, as well as the name and some illustration. So let's just quickly read this. Add your artwork into the artwork layer. Take note, it's a layer, it's not a group. Make sure to position it accordingly. Then duplicate your artwork into the rest of the slide groups above the duplicate layers. Switch on animation assist and press play. So let's hide the cover. And here you have your slides. Let's open that up. And I have your artwork right here, you duplicate here, and duplicate here. So the difference between this one and the template we used earlier is that for the face layer, it has to be above your artwork layer, right? But for this specific background template, your artwork is going to be on top of your background layer. So make sure you take note of that because it's important to position your artwork in the right place. That's why the artwork layer here is above your sketch layer. Like earlier, we're going to import our artwork. Let's just import this same apple right here. I'm going to drag it to this layer right here. And maybe bring it like this. So after you've inserted your artwork, make sure you hide all of these layers like that. Okay, let's just hide the slide 2 and slide 3 so that you'll see it with just one slide. So here you have it. Next step is to duplicate this and then move it here to the duplicate here position. And another pro tip or a shortcut that you could do is you could just move this to the topmost layer. If your artwork is going to be above the sketch, move it all the way up. If your artwork is going to be below the sketch, like the facial expression, make sure you move your artwork to the bottommost layer. So now it's in the topmost layer. When we switch on Animation Assist, just tap on your artwork frame and switch on foreground. And then let's now turn on the rest of the slides and press play to have that blinking animation. You can hide the background if you don't want it to have a background like that. Easy as that. So all you have to do is just import your artwork, resize it, and then 2 ways to do that. You can duplicate your artwork, one for each slide, and move them to the duplicate here layers. Or you can just move it either to the topmost layer or the bottommost layer. Tap that frame on the Animation Assist and switch on background or foreground. That's it. Super easy to animate your work, right? One more thing before we close. Let me just switch that off. What if you want to resize the sketch? Because all these sketch, I suggest that you don't adjust them, move them, because if you move one, you have to move all of them. If you resize one, you have to resize all of them. So if you want to resize the sketch layers, the pre-sketched layers, make sure you select all of them when you're going to transform them or move them, okay? That way they'll always be together still, like that. So that's it. That's how you use the add-on animation templates here on Procreate.